the field of information systems, system failure can happen for a lot of different reasons. One of them could include because, the project team members, they have missed the deadlines, or it was the user's requirement was not met, or maybe the customers were dissatisfied because of lack of documentation, or also maybe lack of support of top management, as well as maybe they went over the budget. So in order to design a successful information systems, we need to integrate people, software, as well as hardware. To achieve this type of integration, we will focus on system development lifecycle, which is a standard that has been used by designers for many years. And also maybe some developers will know it as waterfall model. This model is a series of well-defined phases that are being performed in a sequence, and it has been served as a framework for developing a system or actually a project. Each phase's output becomes the input of the next phase. And this type of design is suitable for information systems. And if you need to redesign an information system, this is one of the methods that you can use in order to develop the systems. There are other methods which we will describe in this chapter, such as agile methodology, extreme programming, and so on. So let's look at this diagram. So at the beginning of this diagram, you can see that phase 1 is described as planning phase. Phase 2 is requirements gathering analysis. Phase 3 is design. Phase 4 implementation, and the last phase is called maintenance. So there are a series of tasks that is being done in each of these phases, and we will describe each of these phases in more detail. So let's look at the phase 1. During this phase, which is one of the most important phases of system development lifecycle, the system designer should be able to define the problem that the organization is facing. And they have to take their time to actually define the problem. So they have to meet with the customer, come up with what is exactly the problem that they want to solve. After identifying the problem, an analyst or maybe their team of analysts, they can assess the current and future needs of the organization, and they can actually answer a series of questions such as why is this information system being developed, who are the users of the systems, is this a new system or this is something that has been developed in-house, and what are the functional areas that you want this system to focus on, and things like that. So this is as a part of assessment, they can use this question to come up with answers in regards to what are the requirements for this product. They also have to be able to identify the strategic goals of the organization, and also how this proposed system can actually support those goals. They also should be able to get feedback from the users on the problem and the need of this information systems. They have to kind of answer 4 different W's that we are going to discuss. Why this system is being designed, who are the users, when this system needs to be operational, and what kind of capability this system needs to have. At the end of this phase, the users and the top management should have a clear view of what the problem is and how this information system will actually solve that problem. So let's say the company decided that they need to have a new enterprise resource planning system to integrate all the functional areas of the organization. So first, we have to sit down and understand why they need to have this type of systems. What are the problems they're facing? And then who will use this new system? Then we have to identify why, when do they need this? Is this something that they need tomorrow or maybe 10 days from now or a month from now, or maybe 2 years from now, because in designing a new enterprise resource planning system, it might take up to a couple of years. And also, they need to understand, is it matching the strategic goal of the organization? In this part also, in order to basically understand the information systems requirements gathering, and also they need to be able to work on different phases, normally companies, they develop a task force, which the task force consists of representatives from different departments, such as IT department. Maybe in IT department they need to have analysts, they need to have maybe technical advisor, and maybe an IT manager. And also they need to have they need to have a person involved for each functional area of the organization that this system is going to involve. So this, the job of this task force is to collect users' feedback and work towards getting users involved from the beginning, and basically kind of try to answer all those questions that they have at the beginning of the project. Normally, information system has two groups of users who the task force needs to actually collect data in order to get their feedback. One of them is internal users, the other one is external users. Internal users are those employees who will use the system regularly, and they can basically offer important feedback on the system strengths and weaknesses, such as maybe if you are developing a payroll system, maybe a payroll user, you need to sit down with a payroll user to kind of understand what are the strengths and weaknesses of the payroll system. Then the other users that are important as well are external users. They are not employee, but they do use the system as well. They could include customers, contractors, suppliers, and maybe other business partners that are actually using this system. So their input is also very important. And basically how the task force can actually get the feedback of all of these users, normally they do it by using a joint application design approach, or what we call it the JAD. JAD is a collective activity involving users, top management, maybe IT professionals as well. It basically has, it's kind of a series of workshops that all of these people, they meet, all of these, users, they will meet there, and they can actually talk about advantages, disadvantages of this system, and then talk about the systems. So this type of a joint application design approach is actually helping these users, and as well as the people who are actually building the system, to make sure that they have collected all the requirements, and that they have everybody in one place. And normally these joint application design team happens outside of the organization, because they don't want any disruption. So they don't want somebody to come in, oh, you have an email that you have to answer, or somebody needs you, or something like that.